Yes, so before going into diving into the page object model, first we will set up a basic Maven project and create a regular test case, and then we will see what are all the advantages and how we are going to implement our page object model. So I'm going to create a basic Maven project, new, and go for project, and you will get the option called Maven. If you are using older version of Eclipse, you may not have the Maven plugin, so you have to download it individually from Eclipse Marketplace. Click on this create a simple project, give next, and you should provide a artifact ID. I would say test sample test sample POM, since it is a page object model. Click finish. So here if you see, the Maven project is getting built and it is ready for use. So this is a project structure of Maven, and we will have a pom.xml which will be the heart of the Maven project. So sorry, so let's start with exploring the application which we are going to test. So this is the intended application which we are going to test, and the test case would be a simple login test case where you have to give a username, password, and click sign in. And the validation would be to test the page title. So the username would be Mercury, password would be Mercury, and click sign in. So we have to verify the page title of this particular page. Yes. So let's start doing it in the traditional regular way without implementing page object model. So here I'm going to create a new package saying com.sample.try. Say finish. So here I'm going to create a class, new class test sample. Click finish. So your class will be created. So here I'm going to write test public void sample test case. Yes. So I'll be importing my testng library. Okay, fine. So before proceeding, I want to add the dependencies of Selenium and testng to my Maven pom.xml. So here I will search for Maven repository, and this is the Maven repository website. Here you can go and search for Selenium. Yeah, this is the first one, and it will throw out the available versions. Probably you can take the latest stable version, that is the previous version, copy it, and go to your Eclipse editor, open your pom.xml, it takes some time to load. Yes, here you will have a pom.xml file. Here you are going to create a dependency tag. So I'll be adding my dependency tag here. So before adding this, I should open and close dependencies. So this will say, this tag will represent like whatever the dependencies you want to add for this particular XML should be in between these two tags. Yes, so I have added Selenium. Now I'm going to add my test engine. So you can copy the test engine. So you can download the latest stable version. Yes, copy, go back to your Eclipse, paste your dependency, click save. So if you see this, it will be downloading that particular jars into your project. So once your download is successful, you can start using the jar and you can start implementing the code. It may take some seconds. Yes, it has downloaded. If you can see that Maven dependencies, so these are the things which are downloaded by the file. So before jumping into that page object model, as I told before, I'm going to show you the traditional way of coding, where we are going to use a normal methodology and develop a test case. So after importing R, it will ask for Shift Control O, which will import your TestNG annotation test package. So here, so this is my website, right? So before starting the import package, I am going to say system dot set properties, set property. So this will be my key and this will be my value. So here I should invoke the Chrome driver. So I will say WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver and the path. So here is the Chrome driver path. So I should copy this and go back to my Eclipse and paste the path here. Yes, done. So next I am going to invoke my Chrome driver. Before that I have to say WebDriver space driver. I am creating a reference variable of type WebDriver. It will ask us to import. Shift Control plus O is the shortcut which will import the package. Now I will say driver equal to new Chrome driver. Yes, so this will invoke a Chrome browser. So next what I am going to do, driver dot get. So I am going to give my URL. So this will launch my URL here. Yes, good to go, fine. So after doing that, I have to inspect my element. Where is it? This one. Yes. So this is my intended username and password. Just inspect it. So this is my import. So it is a bit clumsy, so I'm moving it down. Okay. So here fine. So I will say right click, inspect. So username. So I'm going to use the name property. driver dot find element of by dot name. So what is the name? This dot send keys of string Mercury. The same I'm going to do it for password. Right click, inspect. So this is the password field. Just copy this, this one, password, and just paste it here. So I'm locating my username text box and password text box by the name property. So the password is also Mercury. Fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the sign in button, inspect. So this type is image, name is login. Okay. So I can use I can use the name property like space login. So it is a button. So what action we will perform on it is dot click, right? Click. Done. So this is my test case. So what my end validation would be, after clicking this login button, I want to validate the page title. So I want to know the existing page title. So I will say string page title yes, should be caps for string page title equal to driver dot get title, which will return a string of current page's title, and I also want to print it. Control space pgtit. Yes. So let's execute this in TestNG and see whether it works good or not. Right click, run as TestNG test. Okay, we have some good issues. Let's see what the problem is. Fine. The path of the driver executable must be sent. Okay, this is a key. If you are not able to, so this is a key. Let's see whether our key matches with this. Okay, I have given caps. Okay, the key is good. Okay, and this is my path where I have my selenium driver.exe, right? So we have to give the name, file name as well. Control C, go back, say / Chrome driver, and it is a exe. Save it, and now try running the test. Hopefully it should work now. Yes, Chrome is launching. Oops, sorry for this. What is happening? Index of Selenium. Shit. We have to give the URL of demo website. I'm not sure, by mistake I given some other. Control C and paste it here. Yes, right click, run as test.ng test. Okay. Yes, Mercury, sign in, it's working. Done, great. It works as expected, and we have given a command to print the page title. So let's see what is the page title. So this is the page title. Control C. So I can assert the assert equals, like the expected would be this, and the actual is this. Yes. And finally I can close my browser, right? So for that, what the command is, driver dot quit. Yes. So this is a login test case, a simple login test case where we are launching the browser, opening the application, keying in our username, password, and clicking the login button, and we are getting the title of that particular page, and we are validating with the expected string, and we are closing the browser. Let's run one more time and see whether it is working as expected. Yes. So it's started running. It has launched the browser. Open the app, username, password. Yes, done. Wow, our test case got passed. So this is a traditional way we use it in our driver, like use it in our Selenium coding. So like now we are going to move to some other pattern called page object model. So what is the advantage of moving to page object model? There are many advantages. One of that is like you're having driver dot find element by dot name username. Let's say you have 100 test cases. Out of 100 test cases, in 30 test cases, you are using this username property. So this will be one of your step in all 100 test cases, all 80 test cases. So if someday this property is going to change as username 1 or username user or name, something is getting changed with the name property. So the problem here is like you have to go and change in all the test cases, and it is a very the maintenance will be very tedious. So in order to overcome that issue, what we are going to do is like, okay, this is the particular object. We are going to save it in a repository, and from that repository we are going to refer it to our test cases. As simple as that. What we are going to do is like we are going to save this in a container, and from that container we are going to take out each time when required. So if there is some changes in the property, means it's okay if we just change in one place, which will be reflected in all 80 test cases. So that is one of the main advantage in going with page object model. So thank you for watching this video. In next video I'll cover how to implement page object model in our framework. Thank you.